Welcome to Bexico, your internet oasis for brain body bliss, inside and outside your hoop. My guest today is a very good friend of mine. I'm so excited to have her here in Bexico today. It is the one, the only Groovin Megz Abernathy from Portland, Oregon. Give it up for Megz.
Holla.
Holla. So Megz has been talking with me a little bit about her migraines. She gets really intense headaches, and that can be caused by a number of different things that are beyond physical. So my recommendations for her are purely physical, but there are other contributing factors. So if you suffer migraines, I highly recommend that you visit a doctor. But you might also consider some of these exercises to help alleviate tension that's brewing in the upper shoulders and the neck area. One of the first things I noticed when working with Megz is that her rib cage is quite distended, and she has sort of a flattened out thoracic curve. And we want a natural convex curve here in the back ribs, and we want a little bit of flattening here in the front of the rib cage. So I'm going to teach Megz how to engage her serratus anterior, which not only helps to close the rib cage, but also in the back body has a huge contribution to scapular stabilization. What? The stability of your shoulders. And when your shoulders are activated to lay wide across your back and downward, it's going to alleviate a lot of the tension that she gets in her upper trapezius, her levator scapula, and her sternocleidomastoid, her SCM, all kinds of other muscles that are encouraging the shoulders to move upward. The serratus anterior is going to contribute to alleviating that effort. Let's have a go. So I have Megz here laying on the mat, and she can either have her knees bent or straight out, whatever feels most comfortable. We're going to review the breathing that we learned in the Bexico video with Nick Gazzardo a couple weeks back, where Meg's hands are going to go to her ribs, her fingers in the front body, and her thumbs wrapped around behind. She's going to breathe into the rib cage, letting the ribs expand. But then as she exhales, she's going to find that navel to spine activation, and she's going to focus on the ribs, moving back to center. Let's do that a couple more times just to review. Breathe in, the ribs open. Good, and on that exhale, she finds her abdominal activation, navel to spine. The ribs are moving into center. They're moving down the body towards the hip points. Another breath in. Keeping the abdominals active, and then really focusing on that rib cage as she exhales. The ribs are moving into the center line, down the body, and also down in space, like I'm skewering her to the mat. Another breath in. Good. And an exhale, the navel draws in, the waist narrows, the ribs narrow, and her bra line gets anchored into the mat. Good. She can relax. So this activation is going to be what helps stabilize the spine while she moves her arms overhead. So let's give that a go. Let's take the test run first. Bring your arms up to the ceiling. Good. Now without activation, she's going to bring her arms overhead, and I want you to see what happens in her spine. Look at this beautiful throughway underneath her rib cage. You see all that space? You can feel that, right? And you see that her front ribs are really distended. So we're going to find that activation, stabilize the spine, helping stabilize the shoulders as well, while these arms do their job. Okay? Fingertips to the ceiling. Arms are a little bit wider than the shoulders. She takes a breath in. She finds her exhale first. She activates, finding that anchoring, then she initiates movement, keeping the opposition of heavy ribs and buoyant arms. She inhales, returns. And again, we exhale. First she finds the activation in the abdominals, then the rib cage, then she can initiate the action of the arms. The arms are the gesture here. The work is in the torso. One more time, Megz, you're doing a great job. Exhale, she anchors it down, and the arms move overhead. Beautiful. And look at this, she's got a nice flat rib cage in front, nice heavy rib cage in back, proper formation of the thoracic curve.